Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I am Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures, and I'm joined with hubby,
Hubcap,
who will be reading the questions. And today I decided to pick back up on this guy. Hi, Eve. Hi, Grace. And so I left off on him back in June, and thought, well, maybe he should get a little bit more attention. I do need to get it done. It's a 16 by 20 on Baltic Birch. Hi, Marie. Hopefully the audio and video is good. And hi, Chris. Hopefully everybody can hear us. Yes. Hey, Andrew.
wow, we're really doing good with the delay.
Oh, good. Hi, Nikki.
Less than 10 seconds.
Is it? Maybe because it's happy it's snowing.
Maybe.
All right. So, I completely just lost my train of thought.
No.
It just went bye-bye out the window.
So you're saying hi, and you're burning, well, Philip is here.
Hi, Philip.
You say hi to Nikki, right?
I did.
Woot indeed, she's here. Okay. So we're all caught up.
Yes, and if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. And if you notice, we have Bernadette who keeps wanting to come visit with everybody. Hopefully that looks okay. So he won't be up the whole live, but maybe here and there. Alright, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my spear shader. And I'm using the Optima. And I'm going to start at 3. It's been a while, so I'm having to think about how I want to go about this. And yeah, that could be frustrating. I have my, we're going to do a 3. I have my scratch piece of wood. It's just a thin piece of birch from Michael's in the hobby section. Just so I can test my tips. I have my reference photos in both color and in black and white so I can see the values. Make sure I get this right.
You're so prepared.
No, not really.
My preparedness is when I go in my studio and I see my notes that I've written that says, get a plan.
Get a plan. Let's see here. No, I'm having to try to really remember where I left off and what I was doing. And that can be a little frustrating. This is the Vanish 4-in-1 eraser. I'll make sure to put a link to that down in the description after the live. I forgot to do it. So I'm just trying to get this darker. I do have the black and white up for you, and so hopefully you can see just the tone. But if you look at the colored picture, and if that's just what you're burning from, oh no, do I have the color on or the black and white?
You got the black and white on.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong. There we go. There's the color. And if you notice the color, it shows you the values differently. It can be harder to read. And I'm bumping up to 4 because it's just not quite as dark as I want.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Grace is here. She says, oh gosh, regarding Bernadette.
Hi, Grace.
Ray Telford is here. Sheila Edwards and Heather Cat Lady.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Ray. Hi, Sheila. Yay, our regulars are here. I should have bumped my chair up higher because I'm getting a glare from the tip in my eyes. And it's a little uncomfortable. I'm also making squeaky noises. This part of the fur, value-wise in the black and white, Oh, thank you, Philip. Philip, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. You already did so much last week with your donation through Streamlabs. I appreciate you. Philip is also, along with our awesome Andrew, moderator over on the Drawing with Fire Pyrography group. And he's doing an awesome job over there as well. I do have Eve from Eve Bolt channel, and link down in the description. She does watercolor, plays with watercolors and reviews.
You need to go check out Moon.
Okay, and does an awesome job. I'm guessing Moon wants food. The seal is awake. And Andrew, his Instagram account is also linked down below, and he does beautiful pyrography. I like seeing what he comes up with. Hopefully, do you feel like this needs to be zoomed in a little bit more? I'm trying to get my darks darker, but I also have to remember to go in the direction of this bear's forehead. I guess this would be his forehead, because that's how the fur falls along that muscle. So I'm trying to get that in. I could go much hotter, but I think I want to wait on going any hotter than I already can. Hi, Denise. So let's go over here. Now this hair kind of goes up towards the ear. And because this is raw wood right here that I'm burning on, it's going to burn darker. So I always feel lost when Jason leaves. He helps me to keep talking and not start focusing completely. So I labeled this Real Talk and Why Pyrography. And the thing is I came up with that idea actually from Jason last week when we were driving down to Phoenix, and I've been thinking about it, trying to figure out why I do pyrography and why other people choose to do it. Wow, this is a really squeaky chair. It rivals yours, Eve. It doesn't normally squeak like this. So, if you're new to the channel, which we are now over 2,000, it's so awesome. I want to thank all our new subscribers. I started doing pyrography 12 years ago. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
Nothing. I just I'm back.
Oh.
That seems obvious, though.
At least for me.
Yes.
It's harder burning on the 16 by 20 because I can't flip this board as quickly on screen. So.
Did you see that in liquid colors here?
Yes, Denise.
Okay.
She's part of the. Denise also does beautiful watercolors and reviews. And Eve and Denise both are part of the Animal Artist Collective.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes, Denise helped co-found it. And I am now a guest artist for the month of March.
You were working on the manatee, right? Oh. Sorry.
I don't think we're discussing.
Sorry.
Yes, I have a cool idea.
I will be silent on that matter.
Oops. I forgot to tell him it's a
Philip is asking how much pressure are you using?
Right now I'm just gliding over the wood. I'm not pressing in. I'm set at 4.5. And I'm just gliding over the wood. I can see in areas where I probably, like right here, I shouldn't have gone as dark as quickly as I did. But I guess that's part of going back to a burning you've already started, you see where you've learned more if you've done more since you burned on the one you put aside.
That is true.
And so I find myself a little lost in having to kind of fix what I see now as what I don't necessarily want. And that's why I'm using the spear shader, so I can kind of go back over it, blend it in. So anyway, I was telling them that I started burning 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I came upon burning accidentally while shopping. Art supply shopping does that. I think, I think I do want to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that works. And I was in the wood section of Michael's. I was just looking for drawing supplies, pencils, looking for things that I either needed to restock or, well, just looking. You know how you can get lost in an art supply store?
Yes.
Especially me.
Literally, sometimes.
That's if we can get you
Valarie, where are you?
This is true.
I don't know where I am.
This is true. And I ended up in the wood section. And I saw an example of a wood burning. Because you know how they, sometimes with the art supplies, especially when they're trying to sell the product, they have a little example out. Well, they had an example of lettering, but on the package of the walnut hollow burner that I was looking at, which is not the versatile, it had a clock. And I thought that was really cool. And decided to pick it up. I think I picked up everything for under $20. And went home and burned my elephant, my feetless elephant.
You have 2 questions.
Yes, please.
Both from Heather Cat Lady.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start this one that you're working on?
I started this back in June of 2017.
And what wood are you using?
This is Baltic Birch. I have a link down in the description through Dick Blick. That's where I buy mine. It's a 16 by 20, sanded 3 times with 200 grit, 400 or 300. Let's try this again. 220 grit, 320 grit, and 400 grit.
Wow.
So that's really smooth.
Kathy Whitney's here. She says
Hi,
she's
Kathy.
late, but good morning / afternoon, and to us and everyone.
Good morning.
Andrew has a question.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite species of wood to burn? Fir.
I have only burned, wood-wise, I've only burned fir on Baltic Birch, pine and basswood, and, I didn't think about this one.
Well, what one's the fox on?
That is on you.
And boy, did that hurt.
You would.
Yeah, I would what?
That does sound bad, doesn't it? But that's what it's called, you.
I know.
Y-E-W.
Oh.
Not you.
Well, Andrew also wants to know how fine the sandpaper do you go to? I think you actually...
400.
400, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you actually answered that.
You can go to 600, but if you plan on adding any kind of color to the wood, it is not going to take it as brightly because you've closed off the grain of the wood by sanding it smooth. So it's not as porous as it would be if you just went on 220 grit wood. Is it 200 or 220? Driving me nuts. Anyway, the 200 grit. And so the color won't be as bright. This one will not have color. Though I might add a little bit of white with for high highlights, but I'm not sure.
No color, huh?
No, this one's not a colored piece.
Oh, okay.
I didn't plan this as a colored piece. And so I'm burning it just a little bit differently.
Because I really like how George turned out last week.
Well, I do too, and I'm going to be doing more of that. Yes, not for this one. That's all. And I'm trying to keep the, let's see here, the fur kind of goes in a curved direction. And I got off track explaining how I got started.
Well, let's get back on track.
Let's see here. My hand, I don't like that my hand covers. You know what? I think I'm going to move over to this side of his face so that it's not covering it for you guys. I didn't realize that was going on.
Okay, Heather just made an awesome pun, so can you use you to burn an ew?
You can. And make it ew.
And Grace heard Moon. She said,
Seal dog. Yeah.
Angel's here.
Hi, Angel.
Let's
see here. These are lighter areas.
Nice.
I didn't realize my hand was covering.
So many puns in chat right now.
Puns are awesome.
Yep. They are.
Alright.
So let's get back to your history. So why again?
Well, I was curious. And isn't that how we find a lot of art that we end up in? And then this is burning a different color and I'm not sure why. Make sure all my graphite's off underneath.
Box around that.
I don't know what you're doing. It was something different, and then when I finished it, besides the fact that I really like the smell of the wood, I had positive reactions to my piece. Granted, I look back on it now, I'm like, ugh. But of course then, trying it out, I had a very positive reaction and people surprised that I had never done it before. And that kind of motivated me to try some more. And the more I burned, the more I really liked it because I am a very detail-oriented person. And though you don't have to burn your art realistically, it really transferred over from graphite for me and colored pencil. Though I will say this takes longer than colored pencil and a lot longer than graphite. But I really did like the response that I got. I had fun doing it and people liked it. I know that sounds kind of a little bit egotistical.
No, that doesn't. No, I don't think so.
But that's the honest truth. I liked the reaction that I got when people looked at my art. And that was a motivator to continue.
Yeah.
I was proud of what I was doing. And being disabled, it helped really focus my mind off of the other crap I was going through, and still go through, and makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something. When I can't seem to be able to do anything else around the house, at least some of the time I can come into my studio and just turn on a book or some music and feel like I'm doing something. And when somebody's disabled, I think that's really important. Feeling like you're doing something, that the people around you aren't doing everything for you.
Sorry about all the noise. Well, Lisa's here.
Hi, Lisa. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. I do hope you're feeling better. Lisa had to have surgery. And I hope things are working out much better now. Let's see, this goes straight up and down. Fur goes all over the place.
You're telling me. I showed up to class this morning.
I know, I saw you when you left.
I don't know why Zena's shedding now.
I think with our weather being off, her body may be off.
Maybe. No, Heather. No, Ray. I'm not sniffing socks.
He doesn't even have this one on. With the green screen, he doesn't have to try to get her in there. She's already there. So, I do think being disabled and being able to focus on something different from the pain or whatever. I thought that was quiet.
Sorry.
Helps to deal, and I think that's what really helps to make art of any kind therapy, is being able to feel that accomplishment, to turn off your brain for a little while and not listen to the negativity that's going on that you're always having to deal with, and feel like you're bringing something to the table. Now, I didn't plan on discussing disability, at least for this live, but I guess it does
I think it's
go hand in hand.
It is a factor.
It is a factor for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's quite a few of my awesome subscribers who are also disabled.
Yeah, actually, several toasties that.
Yeah. And I think that pyrography does the same, or just art in general, but specifically to this, that pyrography really helps to focus on details, so that you're not focus on details of a piece of art instead of focusing on the details of life and pain.
Yeah. Well, Grace says that she really relates to that, and Heather says, well said.
Well, thank you.
And Angel says she feels what you're saying too.
I'm glad. It really...
And Kathy asked the question, a burden to whom? And you know what? I know that you feel like that sometimes, but I don't feel like that about you.
I know.
So...
Oops.
But that happens anytime. That's a human tendency. Like anytime that you're sick or hurt, you know, you always feel like you're maybe not doing enough. But you know, the people around you that care about you, they're not going to care so much. They just want you to be all right.
Well, that's true, but
it's not a choice.
No, it is not a choice.
You know,
I would choose to feel better if that was the choice. Let's see here. I accidentally touched down too hot in this area. So, he's just going to have darker fur there.
Well, it's ruined now.
I'm just going to make it look like he has eyebrows. And darken this fur down this way.
Yeah.
And when this is darker, this won't be as bad. And I was just using the edge, the side of the shader to do that. And in the scheme of the dark that's going to be in his face, that's really nothing. I'm not going to stress about it. But I should have started in a darker area and moved my tip. I can tell right here I used a ball tip last time, because I can see the hot spot circles.
Ah, see, you read my mind. I'm going to ask, how do you know that?
Because I can see it.
God, Zena's hair is everywhere.
I know.
When I got back to the parking garage for class this morning, there was even hair on the door handle.
I saw it on your gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's get
I showed up in class. It looked like I was wearing a
sweater.
mohair suit.
She's He's a big dog with a lot of fur. Alright, I'm trying to get this at the angle it should be, but keep my hand out of the way. I'm not going to work on, I'm going to try to work on this only on the lives, but I'm not going to do consecutive lives on this. It's just too big of a piece. This is easily going to be probably 100 hours on it, and I don't want to spend 100 live hours on trying to burn this guy.
Art Geek Design is here.
Hi, Art.
And I'm not going to read all the comments, but there's quite a bit of discussion in chat about disability. And basically, I think there's a lot of unity of feeling. Like, people pretty much feel the same way that you do.
Yeah. And I think that's where pyrography really helps. And again, I know we have people in chat that aren't pyrographers, but any art, I think, really makes a difference, which is why I was going to school for art therapy. Now, let's see here. His arm is going in front of his face a bit, shadow-wise. I'm going to pop up the big picture again. So right here, let's see if I can, because I have it the way I have it, you can't see.
I was going to say, okay. You can't go over the overlay.
You can't go over the overlay. So along the side of the face, he's really dark. So the best way, I think, I'm going to switch pins. I'm going to switch over just to lay down some first strokes with the coarse 17 coarse hair, just so I can pull them up so I can work around it in the back, and it'll allow me to see how much darker this area needs to go. There still needs to be fur, of course, put in, but it'll allow me to see a little bit better. Let's see here. So we'll switch over to that, and I'm going to go ahead and bump that down to 3, because when I touch down, this pin is going to leave a bit of a gouge. So,
you know, oh yeah, in liquid color, really love your reference.
Oh, thank you. I took it at Bearzona. Actually, I think this one I took a couple of years ago in Bearzona. Yeah, it was with my... Oh, I forgot to clean this tip off. Oh, well.
You know, something that my dad told me that remains true, and I've always tried to keep in mind, is that... Because my dad has serious back problems. He had to have surgery. He had to have some discs fused together. And genetics, I inherited some of his back problems, which is fine. It's genetics, you know. I don't blame my folks. But but what he told me was that when you have a problem that's not obvious, like it's one thing if you're in a wreck and you're missing an arm, then people can see that and they can relate to that. But there's a lot of problems that happen with people that you can't see. And it's things, mental stuff, depression, internal stuff, your lupus, for instance, any number of things, and because people haven't had it and they can't see that anything's obviously wrong with you other than you look like you're in pain or that you're moving slow, then they don't relate a lot of times. They can't relate. And so a lot of times it takes, unfortunately, and I don't wish ill on anybody, but it takes them having a problem like that for them to get it, to really understand what it means to have that kind of pain that nobody can see. And I think that it's really important as family. And of course, I've never had an issue with you with this. I don't, well, I think it's important to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. And if somebody says they're hurting,
they're hurting.
Then they're hurting. You take them at their word, And I've never questioned you.
Yeah.
I know you're hurting, and it just bothers me that you hurt. I wish I could do something about it. But yeah, so it's a hard road sometimes, especially with family members, and you can't relate because they can't see what's wrong with you visibly, so they just jump to other conclusions, and it's really not fair. But
and I think that's the one thing with pyrography, though, is I can take my pain and focus it for good on this instead of focusing on the other areas of dealing with chronic pain. And however, I mean, when I say dealing with chronic pain, I include those who are, clinically depressed. They are in pain. It may not be a physical pain, but they are still in pain too. So I do have a wider definition. I think I also have a better understanding and openness. So I'm trying to just lay down where his arm is going to be, and it's not a straight line. So I'm trying to get some darks closer to where his arm is. Right now I'm just going back and forth. I'm not lifting my tip. It's going to be lighter, but it gives me the ability to get closer. And I do feel some gouges in the wood, which I like when I'm doing fur. So, and you don't quite get the gouges when you're doing it on watercolor paper. I'm trying to overlap because he's got messy hair. Somebody did not brush their hair for their photo. And this was one of the juvenile cubs that is now moved into the main part of the park. He's not a baby anymore. So this still needs to go darker. In fact, I'm kind of off on my direction of the fur. And I've bumped up to 4. And if I use the heel of the tip more so than the end or the middle, I can get it a little darker. And this is going to come down dark. So, get that in there. There we go. So for me, mainly pyrography makes me feel like I'm giving back to the world in a positive way. I think that is my biggest thing. And detail. I can focus on this detail. I can sit here and do, if I want, every single hair. I really don't want to, but I could if I wanted to. And that freedom, even within detailing, I think, is what I like. Now, I do miss color. I think that was another part that kind of drew me to pyrography. It kind of looked like an old sepia photo. Mm-hmm. And I do miss working in color, which is why I'm planning to do more. Because sometimes you just need it. See, I went a little more into his face versus up his arm, so I'm trying to get some darker ones in that go in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And this will just look like messy hair, which is what it is. And I will up my heat, I think, here in a few minutes.
Okay.
I am using a little bit more pressure. In pyrography in general, you don't want to use a whole lot of pressure. You don't want to break your tips. You're heating this metal up, which makes metal softer. And it tires out your hand, which I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I just get too focused and gripping too hard on the pen. So, if you're in chat and you do burning or art, why do you do it? What is it about art that really calls to you to make it? Let's see here. Almost at a 5 now.
Well, I for me, it's because I've always been awesome at it, and everything I do is amazing.
It's
First
so
time.
good that...
Wait, you weren't asking me, huh?
It's so good that the regulars know you're full of it. He is so joking. He does not talk about his art that way normally. So if you're new, he's just playing. That sounded pretty... It sounded bad.
Did it?
You're not into yourself.
No.
I know, I'm teasing you.
Oh, I can see myself in the reflection of my tea.
Yeah. And I would say laughing's another way to feel better. I like to laugh. See, with these Optima pens, and granted, I'm almost at 5, and I'm not having an issue with the carbon sticking. There is some carbon being left on the wood here, but it's not sticking to the tip. And it makes things a lot easier. I was burning a scratch board for review for some color, and that's why there was a little bit of carbon on the tip because I was going really hot.
Yeah.
But in general, it's not really an issue.
Oh.
So, if I go quicker, it goes lighter. I can use the side to get it a little whiter. This is one of my favorite pens. But Andrew asked a question earlier about my favorite wood to do fur on. I don't care for pine. I forgot to finish answering that question.
Wow, you circled way back around.
Well, I just remembered that Andrew had asked.
Turn the wagons around. Keep turning.
We're heading back. Now, I know this area of... Let's see here. Our bear doesn't have a name.
Uh-oh.
What should I call him?
I don't know. Maybe Chad will come up with something cool.
Bob?
Bob
the bear? Even though this area is darker, and I will go over it with the shader to darken this, with gouging the wood, it will make the texture stand out better.
I personally like that effect because you can't see it. For people that do burning, when the wood is really textured like that, and after it's finished, it has almost a prismatic appearance to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome feeling. It's like very, very cool texture to feel.
So if I slow down, of course it gets darker. Right now I'm only kind of just blocking in. There aren't highlights here, so I'm not really worried about it. The hair goes in all different directions. It is lighter on this side. And I know you can't see the drawing, but it is lighter on this side. And the hair is going up the arm. And I do have some lines. Now this is going to be really hot when I touch down. I can either touch down and have it be hot, or just blow on it. Just enough to cool off the tip before I touch down. And then I won't get as much of the heat because I've removed it.
Andrew says that he's had 2 shaves since he asked the question. Let's see. We have some suggestions for name. There's Barry. Bernie. Bubba.
I like Barry.
I do too.
I think Barry works. Barry the bear. Yeah.
And in liquid color it says the zoo where they grew up had a black bear named Tarek, and he helped voice Chewbacca.
Oh, cool. Oh, is he the growl?
Yeah.
That's
well,
really
part
cool.
Of it. Chewbacca's voice is it's a conglomeration of things. But
yeah.
Bear was one of them. I did not know that the bear was named Tarek, though. That's pretty awesome, liquid color. Yes,
Denise.
I am a...
Denise.
I am a Star Wars fan.
Yes, we are. In fact, I was telling in Eve's chat on last Saturday about Aunt Sis taking us to the Star Wars movies, the first 3, the original 3, and getting us the also going back and getting us the Star Wars posters, the movie posters that were hanging up in the theater. Still got those.
There's also Bernice.
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 I'm trying to think. I think all the juvenile bears were male.
Were they?
I think, yeah.
And Heather Cat Lady says, so would this make him a Bernstein bear?
That's a good one. Not to be copyrighted.
Not to be, no, of course not.
He's a... You can go.
Okay.
Are you playing with her?
No.
Oh.
I'm reading chat. I have no idea.
What? Is the tablet down?
Hmm?
Is the tablet down?
No, I'm reading chat. What are you talking about?
I thought that was off because you're clicking here.
No.
Let's get the hair going up his
I
arm.
don't control what Bernadette does. She's your intern.
We need to film more of her. So yeah, this will be darker. I'm not exactly sure how much darker I'm going to go. I picked this picture because I really liked the contrast, that it had some very dark darks and we had some good lights. So, and this photo was taken with a very old digital camera. Could have been a little clearer, but overall it really did capture the light well. Let's see, I'm going to take that off. I know there was some graphite under here. So I'll take that out. I'm going to brush it away. Alright. What?
Angel says, I didn't read the title. She didn't read the title switching from phone to laptop. She was wondering why we were naming this big asparagus dog a bear.
Asparagus dog. Alright, let's go up.
Yes, Grace. I'm reading chat. Why? What else would I be doing?
Let's see here. I need more of this for it to go straight up.
Well, I'm drinking tea.
You're already done eating.
I know. Pinky out.
Pinky out. So the hair... you can see more on the left arm how the hair kind of goes, and actually I could be quite off because of that. I'm looking, and in the left arm the hair is going down, but for this right arm, looking at the edge of the photo, the hair is going up. Okay. Well, on this I may have to do a bit of artistic license. Not that this was ever going to be exact. You guys know it's not exact because you see the reference photo, but somebody just looking at the piece, especially in public, is going to think it's right on. As long as I get my contrast right and things in the right place, it'll work out better. And so I always go back to contrast, but I do think that's the biggest issue new burners have. It's okay to get dark.
That's an artistic problem.
It is.
Like across the board, is that people, I mean, I think everybody starts out that way. There might be a few people, but, it's hard to commit, because you get something done and it looks nice, but it's very light, and it's scary at first to transition into darker because it means that you might not be able to go back.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're wood burning, that's pretty much the case anyway.
I do think that one thing that I didn't do when I started burning that I think is helpful is for people to just do one burning with no expectation. Okay, I'm going to end up going off camera if I keep going that way. Sorry. Here we go. No expectation, just play. Test out your tips. Doodle. See what happens when you go dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will very quickly help deal with that fear. Almost like if you were doing it in a sketchbook, but on a piece of wood you don't care about. And the same with doing an area. If you're not sure how to do the eye, just take a scratch piece of wood and transfer just the eye, or draw the eye however you get your lines on the wood, and just burn that. Don't burn anything else, just the eye. That will help you feel more confident. But burning does help me to feel better. And I do like the results I get. And I do like the response I get from people.
Well, I watched an interesting video recently.
You can name the person.
From Cesar Santos. He's an oil painter in Miami. He's somebody that is she's a fantastic artist, like technically, and but he was talking about when he went to school, his professors would always tell him do the art for yourself and not for other people, and what he was saying is that you kind of need to do a combination of that.
I was just thinking that,
because you're doing it for yourself, but we don't do art in a vacuum. We do art because we're looking, to get a response from other people. We do it as a tool for communication, to bridge the gap between people. And that's what he was saying, is that, yes, you absolutely should, do art for yourself, but you need to remember that you are doing it for other people. And that's why we aspire to do good art, is so that we can get a good response. Because that's a human tendency, that we do want, positive response to our art. So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just human. It really is. But I do agree with him that it's not just about what you like.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working towards selling pieces and showing pieces outside of your house. Now, if you're just doing art to do art, and you're not showing it and selling it, then yes, do what you like. I think that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm seeing more and more people trying to sell their art.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I didn't mean to ruin that,
No.
because what you said was profound. I was reading chat. So, apparently Heather is doing chores or no, is it Heather or is it Kathy that's doing chores?
You lose it?
Yeah, it's Heather. It's doing chores and chat's like, hey, you need to stop. You're making us look bad. Mm-hmm. And so Angel's like, she's like, I need help in the soup kitchen and donate blood. Be right back.
Gets to feel better.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm switching over to the spear shader just so we can see how this is going to look. I normally wouldn't do this. I'd keep putting the fur in, but I do want you to see. That is, if I turn it on the right way, I was like, why isn't it heating up? Because I was heating up the other tip.
Must have electricity.
That is the one bummer about this art form. You do need to have electricity.
Well, I suppose. I mean, if you want to go back to the primitive style, you just need fire and a metal object.
I don't think there's a lot of places that would let me start a fire to heat up nails and rods of metal.
Yeah.
Alright. So I have this set at a little over 5. I'm not trying to get rid of the burn or to hide the hair. Oh, warm. But I am trying to darken it.
Grace says she's just going to solve world hunger and create lasting peace. Be right back.
Yeah, that works.
Liquid Color actually asked a little bit ago. Denise did about selling your work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she wants to know if you sell your work. She doesn't see a link in the description.
I do. We're redoing our Facebook our website. I can't even get that done. We do have several Facebook pages and Instagram where people can buy. So we do. And emails. But we had to finish our website. I completely switched us over to a different provider. And we just needed a new website compared to what we had.
Yeah.
I did change the channel art though. Hope everybody likes that. And I did the thumbnail a little differently.
Sheila wants to know what size of wire is your spear shader.
This one, I think all of the Optima pins in general are 18 gauge.
Angel is having problems doing these same strokes with the walnut hollow tips. Care to comment on that one?
When you can upgrade, I would. If you're not liking, you don't have to upgrade. If you're enjoying your burning experience with the walnut hollow and getting the results that you want. But if you're having a problem trying to achieve this, the professional burners are meant to do detail. That is one of their main duties. I know, that's why it is to do details. So, though it is doable with the Versatile, I would say use the shader tip and use just the very end of the tip and go fast. And have your heat set on a lower setting. That way you can get your foundation of fur down. And go back over it with a higher heat like I am. Right now I'm just, again, I know it's really dark, but I am trying to give the appearance of groups of hair. I'm not burning everything completely black. I mean, you could. You could burn this black and that black and all the darks black. But it may be too much dark.
Grace just asked me how old I am, and I'm not sure if that's a rhetorical question because of the way that I'm acting, or if that's an actual question.
He's 4.8.
Just threw it right out there, didn't you?
I'm not ashamed, are you?
No.
I worked hard for my 4.4 years. I'll just say that Grace is a baby.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I am almost always the oldest person in my college classes. Aside from the professor.
Aside from the professor?
Usually the professor, and like once in a while they're the same age. The ceramics professor last semester was the same age as me.
Yeah.
But most of them are older.
I'm sure they'd rather talk to you than a bunch of kids all the time.
I don't know. I think it depends on the person. There are art students. There's some people with some very interesting insights, and people have real depth of character. And then there's others. But,
well, I'm talking about the others.
Oh.
Let's see here. Trying to think of.
The duty. Gotcha. That's why. It was a rhetorical question.
Oh.
Hey, Val laughed.
Because I knew exactly. Why? Now for this one, I also have my grain going left to right instead of up and down. And that is why you're seeing these lines. And I'm thinking, had I paid attention to that and did my piece turned, the grain would go along with the bear fur instead of me working against it.
Ray says, yes, she is that old.
Let's see here. This is raw wood here. It's fine.
Art Geek Design has a question. Do you press hard or is it light touch to burn the wood?
This right here is light touch.
You want to know if you leave grooves behind.
This does have grooves, but I'm not really pressing too awfully hard. I'm trying to... It's the heat more than anything else. You want the heat to do as much work as possible. So there is gouges, but it's from the heat. And I did press a little bit, but not enough to do too much damage to the wood. But you can see the grain going across. Had I thought more about it, I would have had the bear turn so this was a portrait setting instead of a landscape. And this fur, it would just work together more. And it's one thing I always forget to pay attention to, and I don't know if a lot of people do pay attention to the direction of the grain and how they lay their piece out.
So yes, the delay is only like 10 seconds, but it's an additional 10 seconds after you guys see it and actually write in chat. So by the time that you actually get your question out, it's like 20 seconds.
I do think since we have more people in chat and they became fast friends,
okay.
I turned mine off.
That is an alarm.
I turned mine off. Haha. It wasn't me this
Well,
time.
I can't be perfect like you.
I turned mine off. Did you hit off or dismiss, or did you hit snooze?
No, I hit dismiss.
Okay. Let's see here. Now here I was using the side of my pen. Oh, hot. I always forget it's hot. this is the side of my pen to get some of the hair fur strokes. We said not too many.
I know, but Grace made some comments at me, so I'm rewarding her.
You're rewarding her. Which I can't see. Let's see here. Okay, it's still on camera. I do have to be careful because the light is hitting my tip and it's glaring right into my eyes. So my eyes get tired a lot quicker than they used to.
I'm learning about art, Angel. All about art. I'm not ignoring you, Angel. There's a 20-second delay.
Yeah, you gotta give him a chance.
Plus, I read real slow. I'm so embarrassed. It's not something I can talk about.
You don't read slow.
Shh. I'm trying to get sympathy.
Keep it up and it's gonna be me getting the sympathy.
Oh, I think you've already got it.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
So here we can see, and this still needs to be darker. But now we know we can go just a little bit lighter, or I'm sorry, darker with this side of his face. Everything plays off of each other. I have to keep that in mind.
Rude, Grace. What do you mean? I don't know what she means.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm looking at this. I don't know. Luckily, this does not have to be perfect.
What?
I know.
Who are you?
That's the fun part about fur. Just get it somewhat in the right direction.
Well, plus fur is so... It's like this picture of the bear with its arms raised. Like, in that moment, in that second, the fur was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was never the same again.
Yeah.
So
however you do the fur, I'm sure at some point it'll look like that. It sucks that I changed the setting of my easel and everything. Should have put my chair higher.
Angel, Val has an electric eraser. She has several.
I do.
She has several.
And I used to swear by my electric eraser. And then I found the Vanish 4-in-1 eraser, and let's just say the electric eraser is on vacation.
I used to swear by mine too. But then people were like, why are you just standing there swearing? Why don't you do something? And so then I started doing something.
So I am making fur strokes with the spear shader. So if the spear shader is all you have, it is very much doable. Let's see here. So we know it starts getting lighter. Let's see here. Right about in here, it starts getting a little lighter, but we do still have the dark, 2 areas of dark here. Like this area is lighter fur that I marked out on the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So I know.
Oh my God, they're talking about their dogs. Angel has 2 Malamutes, and oh wait, no, I've got that mixed up. Sorry. Art and Geek Design. I think I've mixed up the story. Somebody's animal. Sorry, chat. Somebody's animal was watching the cats on TV and panicked.
Zena got mad.
Never mind, yeah, because we were watching something on YouTube this morning, and like one of our dogs will watch TV with me occasionally. She doesn't have a really long attention span, but she'll occasionally watch, like when there's other animals on. She'll like get really focused for about a minute, and then trails off.
I've seen her watch longer.
But most of the time, our Great Pyrenees just ignores it unless she hears like a baby or something.
Yeah.
But there was a lynx on TV this morning.
Not making any noise.
Not making any noise, just walking around doing lynx stuff, and she was so mad. She's so mad. Get out of my house, lynx. There's a cat in the house.
She got loud barks that time.
And we love cats. We take care of cats.
Outside
cats. I don't know why Xena doesn't like cats.
None of the dogs like cats.
I know.
They follow the stereotype.
When I was growing up, all of our cats always coexisted.
Yeah, but I think your dogs started off with cats, though, and I think that's the difference.
No. No. Like, all of our dogs, well, one was a sled dog, and the other one was a rescue. And she was like 7 or 8 when we got her.
You may not have cared.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Liquid color has to leave.
Bye, Denise. Thank you for stopping by. Alright, so this area needs to go darker. So I'm actually bumping it up to 5.5. I don't tend to go much higher than 6. Hate when you get that tickle in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
I do know this is hot, so I'm going to blow on it and then let it heat back up. Varying my speed so I get lights and darks.
That's interesting. Because, like, speed is not usually... I mean, I imagine so in tattooing, but in most other mediums, like, speed is not necessarily an issue. Like, pressure and...
But see, here you want less pressure.
Right.
You want to have the pen do the work, so it's pen control that really makes a difference.
Well, I guess...
And I'm holding the tip at an angle, or I'm actually going back and forth so that I get some individual darker hairs or an area.
I guess what I mean is like when you're painting, you know, with a brush or even ink or pencil. No, maybe not with a dip pen, but with a regular pen. You know, speed. Like, you don't have to worry about if you stop your brush or your pen or your pencil,
it stops.
It stops for the most part, and you do. It's like you have to worry about it. If you stay in place too long, it's going to burn more and more.
Yes. Yeah, for this, pen control makes all the difference. If you're having a problem with things being too dark, try speeding up how quick you move your pen across the board. Once I find the setting that I'm happy with on the heat, I don't tend to change it too awfully much, because I can vary that value just with the speed. So I'm just trying to get this area close to the darkness that I'm going to want. And then it's easier to deal with this area.
I see.
And burning with the grain also helps, but in this case I can't burn with the grain because the grain is going left to right and I'm burning up and down. So it does help if you pay attention to the direction of your grain. It also changes how your piece looks.
Did you throw your hat on before?
It fell off.
Spiked it, didn't you?
I did not spike it.
Like,
I did not throw it. It fell off my head.
Get on the ground now, hat.
It fell off my head. Alright. So I do feel like there are loose hairs, and I can put those in later along his arm. I'm not going to worry about those right now. Really, I'm still just kind of blocking in. I can use the rounded skew that's really fine to put in the wandering hairs.
Skew. Whoa, Angel.
What? Oh, thank you, Angel. I wasn't even expecting that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. Wow.
We have awesome toasties. Very supportive.
Hey, you know what tomorrow is?
Wednesday?
Yes, it's Wednesday.
You know I don't care about Valentine's Day. I mean,
know.
every now and then... Ooh, hot pin. The pin is warm right here. Not so much here. Not so much here. But right here.
Okay, Tommy. And here we go. Easy, Scotty.
I couldn't
Take it down a notch, okay?
Couldn't help myself. When I erase, I do try to go with the grain of the wood because the graphite can get down in the grain.
You just transition just like that.
I know. I'm moving on.
She's a pro, folks. Just like nothing happened.
I'm just moving on. Alright, let's see here. What angle can I do? But this really helps it to pop out.
Yeah.
So this darkness here is what's going to go over here. And I think that will... And this is such a harsh shadow line. I mean, part of me wants to fuzz it out, but I think it's just going to... Areas need to be darker.
That's funny, Angel.
What?
She said she had to donate for such a pretty dog burning.
I bumped this
Grace
down to
said,
3.
I threw it on the ground. I know. I got you, Grace. I know what that is.
Do I know what it is?
Huh?
Do I know what it
It's
is?
a song.
Oh, okay.
You know, Lonely Island. Andy Samberg.
Oh, okay.
Song. It's on YouTube.
So this area is darker. See, these areas are showing up lighter in my burning because I was looking at the color burn and on this TV screen instead of closer to my face. But that is why these came out lighter. But when I'm looking at the... Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't know.
It's like you touched it and then all of a sudden...
I touched it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
We're
going to be okay.
Yeah, we're going to be okay. I bumped it down to 3. I think I can keep my hand out of the way for this. It probably gets OBS.
Oh, okay.
But because looking at the black and white, I can see my values better. And so I know these need to be darker because the black and white, which is what's popped up on the screen, tells me it can go darker. But
I know, Grace. It's all my fault.
but because I've already burned in this area, I do have to bump up the heat. So I am at 4.
4.
And see right here, I can tell I used the ball tip there. I'm going to have to try to blend that in. So see, I even a piece that I only did, what is it? However many months ago.
You said 7.
Well, June is when I started it, so whatever.
Okay, I gotta count on my fingers.
Yeah, count on your fingers for me. My fingers are busy.
November, December, January. Well, that's actually like 8 months and some change.
Yeah, I was thinking 9 months. I can see errors that I've made, and of course, this part was one of my first lives, and so I was having a hard time. Not that I don't still have a hard time, but multitasking. And so I know I've messed up. Now I'm just trying to blend it in. Let's see here. I drew this. There's a tree behind his head. That's not the original photo. I put the tree there. And I'm actually... I was thinking about putting black burn
Wait.
in between the trees, but I think I might lose him.
Wait, what now about the tree?
This back here is a tree behind his head.
Yeah.
That's rock. I changed it.
Oh, okay.
I redesigned my photo.
Gotcha. You just about blew my mind there.
What? You're saying
because I remembered that there was a tree. I thought you were saying that there was no tree behind him. I was like, what? I remembered a tree, and they can see the tree. There's no tree there. It's all in your mind.
You don't see a tree. So anyway, when I was saying I'm building layers, because I've already burned in this area, it's going to take higher heat to...
Is that always the case?
Yes.
Ah.
Because you've already damaged the wood, so it's just going to take more. But you have to decide if...
So, actually, wood burning, in a way, is like sculpture, because you're not adding color. You're removing material.
No, I'm not removing the material.
But you're changing it. There's a
I'm
byproduct.
changing it.
There's a byproduct of the smoke that comes off. That means that something's being removed.
But you don't see any smoke, do you?
Could be a subtractive process. Like
Wait a
sculpting.
minute. No. I'm already having to burn.
Yes.
Focus on burning. Focus on answering questions.
Got it.
Listening to you. No philosophical stuff right now. Please, my brain can't do it.
Well, speaking of brains can't do it. How much longer are we going to be going here? It's 12:17.
I know. We'll be wrapping up here soon. I'm just trying to show that I can go darker. And what it looks like if I go darker. Let's see here. This fur goes this way. And this has some heating. See, even just in 8 months, how I burn changes a bit. Has changed a bit. That's why I see issues. Because hopefully with each piece you grow. And even though I've been burning for 12 years, doesn't mean I don't have a lot of room to grow. And that is my biggest goal, I think.
What would you say for someone like me, though, that's reached the pinnacle of their craft?
That they're full of it?
Oh, okay.
You never fully reach the pinnacle of anything?
This is true.
So I know you're full of it.
I know. Just kidding. Yes, Angel. I got told.
You got told.
Angel also says adding a shade to the eyebrow made a huge difference.
See, now this doesn't look as dark as it did because this dark is interacting with it. So now it doesn't look quite the way it did. I'm wondering if I can cut a glare. See.
Whoa, that's amazing. Just that shift, it made it such a deeper tone.
Yeah, that's why
That was incredible.
There we go. I think maybe that's a little bit more realistic. I do it so bright so that you can see, but now I don't have a glare on my eyes. Yay! Maybe I should keep it this way. We'll see what chat thinks. And if they can still see.
Oh, we're longer on a delay now. We're up to like 20 seconds. No wonder Angel's yelling at me.
He's behind you.
She thinks that there's only 20-second delay when there's actually like, it's more like 30 or 40.
Let's see. I see graphite that is not coming up. This is the mono sanded eraser for ink. I don't want to press too hard with it because it will.
Or you'll get mono.
Because it'll sand the wood.
Oh.
But I need to lighten that as much as I can.
Yeah. Chat says, well, Angel says huge difference. It really is, though. You can see the depth much better.
Yeah. Well, it was washed out, and that's mainly so I can see what I'm doing. But at the same time, actually, I was also trying to cut out any shadow for my hand. Now, I didn't test my tip when I went down. I'm set on just shy of 4. But I think it's okay.
4.
Chair's a squeaky chair now. There we go. I think I got it. It's just harder in the lighter areas with the graphite. Let's see here. This hair actually goes more towards a horizontal than it does down. See, I was using the TV monitor for the reference when I first started this as well.
Yeah.
And so from a distance, it looked like I was doing what I was seeing. But having the reference right here next to me, as close to the piece as you can, helps you to see things better. And so I'm trying to fix those. Now, what does everybody want to discuss and work on next week?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next week is our wedding anniversary, too.
I know.
But it's not on Live Day. So
that's why Val said that she wasn't too concerned about Valentine's Day because our wedding anniversary is so close. But I always like to let you know that I appreciate you on Valentine's Day.
You.
And I love you so much.
I love you so much, but we're not there yet.
Well, Valentine's Day.
Oh, well, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Duh.
You're like,
okay,
wait.
I went back into focus mode.
Hold.
I went back into focus mode. Okay, you can do the Mickey talk then.
Okay, well. Oh, no, I'm holding. Ow!
I know what you're about to do.
You can do the bushy talk and then you hit me? Chat, help.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get as much sympathy as you'd like.
Probably not.
Let's see here. We got a line going this way and down. This way and down. And I didn't hit you. I got your attention.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what it's called. Getting your attention. Let's see here. Trying to go with the fur of his eye.
Angel says, sorry, Jason, it's over. No, porque mi Dios, mi corazón.
Aw. It's never over.
I know.
Never.
It's never over. Never.
Alright. So hopefully you guys have a better idea. See, it always looks better on camera than me looking at it straight on. It does look better on camera. Maybe that's how I should show all my art, just on camera.
Just on camera, yeah.
Just on camera.
Like when you go into the gallery to see your work, you have to look through your smartphone.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to.
Well, it's just on TV screens. It's not framed.
Oh.
Because it does look better on camera. So when they're telling me it looks great, they're looking at it differently than I do.
That's right. You threw it on the ground.
I did not throw it on the ground. It fell off my head.
Sorry, something else going on here.
Oh, okay. See? I feel so lost.
I'm not lost.
Right.
I'm just focused. Eve says it's really pretty already, Val.
Thank you, Eve. So this does need to be darker, especially along here, so that it makes the head curve And this is where it's darker on this side because the light is coming in this way. And so I do need to make sure that I get that darker. And a lot of this is just looking at the different shapes. I know I say don't burn every single hair, but if you notice, I went back over the hair with the shader to bring it together and kind of make some clumps out of it.
Well, Angel says, seriously, she's not getting anything of the detail from the reference photo. But you have a... what chat can't see is that you have a...
Big...
or I guess they can see it now.
This is my photo. I don't have... I have it zoomed in more.
So you're getting a lot more of the detail.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. Unfortunately, I can't make that picture really any bigger on the screen.
What Chad doesn't know is that the bear is actually here.
Sitting over in the corner posing for me. Mm-hmm. His arms are getting tired. Oh, what did we say his name? Oh, Barry the bear. Barry the bear. His arms are getting tired.
He's like 2 high fives up top.
Let's see here. I'm not sure what I'll name this one. I named George. That piece is called Look Into My Eyes.
Angel says, oh my God, we got the budget photo.
Well, that's what I'm working from.
Andrew thinks the fur looks amazing.
Well, thank you. This definitely needs to be much darker. It needs to be going along with this. So that'll be... I'm going to have to... Depending on what we work on next week. If I work on this next week, I'm going to have to put this in portrait mode and work on it sideways. Because if I try to darken, my hand covers a lot of it.
Podge says your detail looks better than the reference.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I think that artistically, I think that that's what artists do.
Try to do anyway.
Is that you make it, you try and make it more engaging.
And one thing about going from a photo is you can change it. Mm-hmm. I could have put this bear in a different location altogether and created a picture of something that never even existed, never happened.
Like if he was in if he was flying a F-15 or playing volleyball.
Yep. It was F-18 in the movie. It was an F-18 in the movie.
What movie?
I thought you were going for Top Gun. You went from fighter jets to volleyball.
Those are 14s. Those are Tomcats.
That's true. Sorry. My bad.
It's okay.
See? Just got that on live camera.
What?
My bad.
That happened?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. That. Oh my God. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Oh. I was right.
Damn it, I gave it away.
I need to call my friends.
Your friends are in chat.
I got something stuck in my eye.
Oh, me too. Oh. Alright, I think we're going to start wrapping this up. Did anybody say what they wanted to work on next week? We have this, we have the buffalo, or I can start a new piece. So, I'll just put that out there. I don't want to work on this piece, though, for 6 weeks straight, because there's just too much of it.
It is a larger piece as well.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that. So what would everybody else like to see?
Wow.
Much darker.
Chat is basically like echoed every sentiment.
What?
Jason, right? Angel says Jason has friends.
Yeah, he has both. Not often, but.
I know.
see here. Yeah, I'm going to have to go higher heat like I did before. So I'm going to, well, I'll bump it up so you guys can see before we end this. Let's see here. I bumped it up to almost 6.
Let's see. Sheila says, how about a black dog?
Black dog. Oh, Sheila's working on a black dog. That's why. He posted it in the group.
Angel says bear.
Bear.
Ray says, work on this one. Kathy says, whatever you want. And Angel says, I a tiger. I don't know if she means I want a tiger or if she's just saying I a tiger.
He's a tiger?
I know, Grace. I can never get that on tape though, and it happens so infrequently.
Hey, it happened on Friday.
I could do it as a ringtone. I could put it on your ringtone.
On my ringtone?
For like when you call me. I could be like, can you call me?
Just to hear it?
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe I will.
Pod says bear or buffalo would be great.
Bear or buffalo.
That might be my vote. I would like to see more bison.
More bison?
Heather, you should just push it back in real hard.
What?
If it doesn't work, throw it on the ground. One of her cats was playing with her keyboard, and one of the keys is out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Angel says Irish elk. That's interesting.
I don't.
Grace wants a sloth. And Angel, you can't just keep changing it. Angel wants a giant elk now.
A giant elk. Don't know. I'll have to look for royalty-free photos for an elk.
Angel's like one of those 1940s movie producers. She has so many ideas. You know what we need for the scene? A giant elk and a sloth and a tiger and make them friends. That'll be great.
That's what you say I do.
Yes, you do. Val is... I'm like looking at a blank canvas and she's like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And Val's like, you know what I think? You know what I see? And she tells me. And it's like, whoa, slow down.
I just tell you what I get.
It's always so intricate, though. It's like, how would you even think
But look what I do.
How would you think that I would even be capable of that?
Because I have faith.
A giraffe. But make it a pirate giraffe. Riding a bicycle.
Because I have faith
in you. Attacking a skyscraper. And everybody's on fire.
Faith in you. Because I know you can. And then what you got to say to that? Huh?
I love you.
I love you.
Now don't you feel bad?
No.
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 Typical.
Alright. I'm gonna... Well, it'll be between, I guess, the bear or the buffalo, because I really do need to get these done.
Angel says she found something for me. Wish you could see it. I bet you she's holding her hand up, too.
I bet you she is, too.
Probably.
So...
I see a fist. Wait, it's not a fist. One of the fingers is up.
Alright. So if we have any last questions, it'll either be buffalo, which we didn't name the buffalo either, or berry here.
Well, we should name the buffalo when we're doing a stream for that buffalo.
So we got B&B, bear and buffalo, bear and bison.
And Barry and Bernadette.
See, on the tablet, it looks yellower than it does. What is up with that? Why does it look yellower?
Well, you definitely need to read chat. There's a lot of it, for one. But...
Alright. So if we don't have any further questions, so that I'm going to keep the lighting like that. It looks better.
Okay. So are we wrapping up then?
Yeah. Does it look like yellow to everybody else, though?
I don't know.
I just changed the lighting, so hopefully...
It is what it is. Because that's also live. It's just a display.
Okay. All right. So either buffalo or berry here.
Are you gonna do it or am I gonna do it?
You can do it. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully this video has helped you in some way in your burning adventure. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. And make sure to leave me a comment and like on the video. Let me know what you would like to see next. And I so appreciate you spending your time with me.
So weird.
Happy burning, guys. Bye.